Hey, Maritime Hockey fans, Tanner Gallant here, joined by my brother Thomas. Today we're doing something a little different where we're going to discuss, the latest news and transactions for the Maritimers across the globe. This is something different we're going to try. We're going to see how people like it, and I think it's just a quicker way of just sharing all the news lately.
Yeah, it's beginning of August now. Our vacation, the off season's kind of coming to a close, so we're getting the itch for hockey.
Yeah, it won't be much longer until we're in the thick of it, Come
Yeah,
the end of August, early September, we get some overseas starting, and then sooner or later, then it's the NHL, AHL, ECHL, and then it gets busy season.
yeah. I think KHL. I think the regular season starts first weekend of September. I think regular
Yeah,
season.
yeah. So it won't be that much longer. So, if we're gonna jump right into it, starting with the EIHL, this become a hotbed for Maritimers lately. The last few summers, we've seen a lot of guys join over there, and we even had one about 2 days ago.
Yeah, I love the signing by the Manchester Storm. They signed Nick Welsh to a contract. He's a guy that fits well there because he plays a lot of minutes. He can play on the power play. He'll put up points from the blue line. Good puck mover. When we talked to Tyler Heinem here a couple weeks ago, he talked about how the team was unhappy with missing the playoffs, which is expected. So I
Yeah.
think this is a step in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, and like EIHL in general, but Manchester Storm, there's a lot of maritime connections. They have a brand new coach, Cameron Critchlow, Maritimer. They already have Steven Johnson, Tyler Heinem. They already have a few, so maybe this is the mesh that he needs to, take that next step.
Yeah, he did well here a few years ago in Germany, but the
Mm,
last year or two he's had trouble. He had an injury problems there one year, and then he went to another league. And people don't understand maybe sometimes it's more than just hockey. You're going to a whole different place. There's language barriers and there's travel and all this different stuff. And I think maybe Manchester, where you have so many Maritimers playing there,
mm,
I think, and you don't have to worry about the language barrier. So I think
yeah.
that's going to be a smooth transition for him. I expect him to be back up to where he was here a few seasons ago when he was playing in Germany.
Now, another thing you mentioned is a minute eater. That's something that every team needs, especially on the back end. Like that is crucial for successful teams. So maybe this is what Manchester needs to take that, make it to the playoffs.
Yeah. I expect him to kind of be similar to Dominic Cormier playing in Sheffield. That's another Maritime guy. So I think it's a it's going to be an underrated move when teams look back at it because people are always sleep on Manchester to begin with.
Yeah, yeah.
And and another note too. I mean, we got three guys confirmed for Sheffield and another three for Manchester. I would expect another Maritimer or two to sign in the
Mm.
EIHL by the end of the off season. It's just stuff that's has to be worked out.
Yeah. And looking at the rest of the Maritimers, we are in early August, there's still a lot of Maritimers available, and it's kind of been a slow market for our side. Uh, you know, what are we kind of expecting for the rest of the summer?
Well, I guess it's been the talk of the whole NHL, everything this offseason is the slow market. We're waiting for stuff to trickle down. I mean, a lot of NHL teams were unhappy with their offseason.
Mhm.
So that trickles down to the AHL and then ECHL and so on and so forth. And I think there's some guys like Luke Henman, for example. He was playing in for Coachella Valley for a few seasons, responsible center. He signs over in the league with Ilvis. I mean, that's a great team he signed with. But I thought he was going to stay in the AHL. It's just some guys don't want to wait. You don't want to
Yeah,
be left without a job, right?
right.
I think that's a good spot for him there. If he was going to leave the AHL, I'd say Finland's the best spot. It fits his playing style, responsible. I mean, it's not the highest scoring league, but I like that move in that aspect.
Well, defensive centerman too, right? They don't need to play in a high scoring league, right? So maybe this will be a perfect fit for him.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping he'll get more minutes. I felt like with Coachella Valley, he was kind of buried in the lineup at times,
Yeah.
and it's hard because you're trying to juggle all the prospects and all that. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a business, and they want to play those younger upcoming prospects. And Seattle, the Seattle Kraken had a lot of them.
Hmm. And
Um,
like even Sorry, go ahead.
I guess some other news too, like maybe someone else like on waiting on an AHL deal would be someone like Brennan Saulnier. Um, you're looking at maybe ECHL Colby Muse. There's guys that are waiting on deals. They don't want to. If you're Brennan Saulnier, you don't want to sign an ECHL deal right away. I mean, you want to wait and see what's out there. And there's a couple vets on the market too, like Gormley and Alex Grant. I mean, they haven't committed anywhere yet that we know of. I know some teams like to spread out their signing announcements. So
Hmm. And like we did have one earlier today in the ECHL with Michael Leary. That's a bit of a surprise move for me. But what is your take on that?
yeah, yeah, it's almost deja vu to last year. He signed with the Florida Everblades in the ECHL last offseason. From what I recall, it was late in the year as well. I he's a guy that's a proven AHLer with Hartford Whalers and Iowa Wild a few years ago. I thought he played well with Hartford. Um, he signed in the ECHL last year, did well with Florida, got called up to AHL, and once they got some players back and some their roster was healthy, he actually went back over to Finland where he played there 2 years ago. And it looks like almost like he's going to do the same thing all over again, start in the ECHL, and if it goes well, maybe get another shot in the AHL.
And they could be definitely bringing him in for just veteran experience. He's played a little bit of everywheres.
Yeah, he signed with the Tahoe Night Monsters, so I mean they're a new franchise, so yeah, it'll be good for him there. I mean, we'll see. I mean, he has the body. He's a big guy. He can play the North America game, but we'll see if he can get the opportunity.
Yeah, and you did mention Gormley and Grant. Both of them still on like a free agent. I'm kind of curious where they're gonna go. It's Grant's been in the KHL mostly lately, so I'm interested to see if he goes back or what the kind of deal is there, but we'll see. Some of them like keeping it quiet until the day comes.
Yeah, it's kind of curious too. I mean, we'll talk about it maybe in a little bit with Gerard Gallant going
Mm.
over to the KHL. I'm curious if maybe they'll have a couple Canadian guys kind of sign with the Shanghai Dragons, their new name. So maybe I'm kind of waiting for that. We'll wait and see though.
Yeah, let's just jump into the Gerard Gallant. Like that's an interesting situation. Like Turk has been coaching for a while. Like other than World Juniors, he hasn't done. I think it was or World Championship. Sorry, I think it
Yeah.
was. He hasn't been coaching too much. It's kind of a surprise move, I would say.
Yeah, I was shocked when he went when they. Okay, wait. First off, I should say they haven't even announced it yet, but it is coming.
Yes.
It is
Yeah.
coming. And for anyone else wondering, because I know there was a couple of people that kind of asked in the comments, Mike Kelly will be. Sounds like he is going to be joining him over there. So I mean, there's that connection that's been there for years. But yeah, it was kind of a shocker. I didn't expect him to go anywhere else other than the NHL. I thought there was a couple teams in the offseason that would have been a good fit, like the Dallas Stars, but nothing happened, I guess, and maybe he was getting the itch to coach again
Yeah.
because I know well that organization has struggled since they joined the KHL. They've been awful. Let's be honest, they've been awful. So I think under Gallant, they will play as hard as they can. He will get every ounce of skill out of those players, and I think that's what they need.
Yeah, and that'll be the interesting part, right? Is seeing how his style adapts into the KHL. Like it's definitely going to be a different task for him.
Yeah, we'll see what it's like. I know they have had a couple other former NHL coaches go over, and a lot of them's been successful. So I think with a big name like that, I think players buy in easier.
Yeah, I'm like just thinking on top of my head, like Bob Hartley's over there.
Yeah.
There's a
Was
few
Torts ever
other.
over there? I don't know if John Tortorella ever went over. I can't remember
No, I
now.
don't think Guy Boucher's over there right now.
Yeah, and he's another
So
type of guy that's like he gets every ounce of skill out of their
so
players, like 100%.
like maybe like that's the step they need. Maybe they need Turk to step in and make the best. So I think Turk will help the team. It's just I'm just surprised he went there, but
Yeah,
we'll
a lot
see.
of people are surprised. Let's say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Thomas, looking into this upcoming season, can you talk about like who you think might be some breakout players in the NHL this year?
Yeah, some breakout players. Maybe Bradley Nadeau would be a good one. I mean, dominated in the AHL last season as a 19-year-old. Played a few games with Carolina at the end of the season. Showed some promising stuff. I'd expect him to be pushing for a regular spot on Carolina come training camp. And maybe another one. I'd say I'd like to get your take on this one. Would be Jordan Spence, who was traded at the draft from LA to Ottawa.
Hmm. Yeah, Spence, I think it's gonna be a good fit. It's Ottawa needs some depth defenseman. So I think Spence fits into that really well. I think he's gonna get a lot of opportunity. Probably, I'm gonna say he's gonna be fighting for second line defense. Um, I think it's just gonna be about opportunity. He's gonna be on a new team. I think LA just didn't get much opportunity, and I think this is a good shot for him to actually have some ice time.
I mean, he won't play power play though, Willie, because they'll have Shabbat and Sanderson kind of the 1 and 2 unit for that.
Yeah, that might be one thing that will hurt him on the point side. I don't know if he was playing a lot of power play in LA, but I just don't think he's going to get much shot in Ottawa just because of that factor of Shabbat and Sanderson.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I think, like you said, Ottawa has their bottom pairing has been bad the last couple of years. Like there's no way of saying it in a good way. They've been bad, so I think this really helps them because you notice when you have a bad third pairing, it stands out because if you get caught with a top line,
Yeah.
you're gonna get scored on quite a bit.
Yeah, you never want to have that feeling where you're putting out your third pairing and like it's like pins and needles the whole time. It's like you're just
Yeah,
waiting for a mistake and that's where I'm kind of interested to see who they match Spence with. I don't know if it'd be Clevin or if it will be like a Zub. Like I'm assuming a stay-at-home guy, even Nick Jensen. So we have a few stay-at-home guys that they could probably match him with. Yeah, so I'm expecting good things out of Spence, and I think it's going to be a good opportunity with them.
yeah. Another guy maybe people shouldn't sleep on. There's actually two. I'd put one is Lucas Cormier. It was injury problems last season. I don't know where they see him playing this season. I mean, he could make Vegas. I'd expect him to be with Henderson though. And another guy would be Colton Ellis for St. Louis Blues. Goaltending's so hard to move up to the NHL level, but I mean, if there's an injury, he'll get his shot, and I think he'll run away with the opportunity if given the chance because he dominated with Springfield last season.
Yeah. I think one guy or one team that stands out to me is the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, you got a few Maritimers in the AHL, but the one that speaks to me is Jacob Quillen. He had a
Mm.
little bit of a shot in the NHL last year, came late in the year, but I think he might have a few more opportunities with the Maple Leafs, or at least I'm hoping he does.
Yeah, I think injuries will play a factor in that too, if there's any injuries or anything. But yeah, I think that when you call somebody up like that, you want someone that's going to be responsible in your own end more so, especially if you're playing like a fourth line. You're not worried about putting up the points. You just want to keep the puck out of your net. So yeah, I think that's a good one. Um, I think with Quillen last season was he got better as the season went on. So he started the year off, took him a little while to transition, but once he got in the groove with Toronto Marlies, he just got better and better as the year went on. So by the end of it, he was playing top six role at times.
I think that's just a big thing of just adapting to the pace of play in professional hockey, right? Like he's jumping up into the AHL. Like that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, for
So,
sure.
um, but that's who I'd be looking out for this year.
Right.
I think that's going to be the end of this session. The one thing I will say is we do have merch on our website. So if that'd be something that would interest you, we have some hats, we have shirts. So check us out on our website at info. Maritime Hockey
You can
dot
email us if you want.
yeah, 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 you can email us, but at maritimehockey.net is our website, so you can check us out there, and there should be a shop page that you can email us what you'd like. Also, just make sure that you're following us on all of our social media pages. We got Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok. I'm trying to remember them all. There's so many now. YouTube.
Yeah.
So make sure you make that you follow us on all of them to keep up to date on all of the Maritime players. And we're hoping, well, we should have a lot of news soon, hopefully, with the season kicking off.
Yeah, Tanner, we had the same wavelength going because you were gonna rep your shirt. I was repping the hat, so we had the
Yeah,
same
so
brainwave going.
yeah, we're just showing off kind of what we have. So if you're interested, please reach out, and we'll get back to you. So we'll have some news soon, hopefully, and the hockey season will be off, and we'll be busy again.